Hey friends, it's Shay and welcome back to Shay's Kitchen. Today is our very first day of our stay-at-home order. So from here on out, I'm gonna have to do most of my cooking from what I have in my refrigerator and my freezer, which is what I've been doing for the most part, but now it's more crucial than ever that I utilize what I have and only go out when I absolutely have to. So with that being said, my meal today is gonna be some fried catfish. I've got some yellow rice and I've got some ribeye steaks because I have some people in the house that can't eat fish. So I'm gonna show you guys how I am going to reverse sear my ribeye steaks. I learned this technique from another YouTuber. I will put a link down below where I got the technique from, but I'm using completely different seasonings. So if you would like to see how I season my ribeyes and do the reverse steak and how I prepared my catfish, then stay tuned. So we're gonna start first with our ribeyes because they do take the longest to cook. This is actually gonna cook at 250 degrees in the oven for 30 minutes. Before I take it to the stove top to finish off. And like I said, I did get this technique from a YouTuber, and this is my first time trying it, but I've heard wonderful things about it, so I'm really excited to see how it comes out. But what I'm doing to my ribeyes is I'm just seasoning them up very, very well. So I have a little kosher salt here. I'm gonna use a little bit of lemon pepper, not much, just like a nice little dusting. And then I have some paprika that I'm just gonna sprinkle on here. Again, just a little dusting. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you are a person that you like to check to make sure that there is no red running from your steaks, you may want to leave off the paprika because sometimes I do find it hard to distinguish between the paprika and the actual blood that may be running out of the ribeye itself. But that is completely optional, and you can obviously cook your ribeyes however you like. And this is just a little bit of rosemary. So now I'm just gonna drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over the top. My reasoning for doing this is just to seal in the seasoning on both sides of the steak. So you just kind of want to pat it down just like so. Now before I flip this over, I am going to take a sheet pan with a rack on it. I also learned this technique from the YouTuber, and I cannot think of her name right now, but she is absolutely wonderful and very entertaining, so definitely check that out. But I'm just gonna put this down on the side, and these ribeyes have been resting out at room temperature for quite some time. So I'm just gonna do the exact same thing on this side, and then I'm going to stick this in the oven and set my timer for 30 minutes. So while the steaks are in the oven, I'm gonna move on to my catfish here. So this is 5 catfish fillets, and I simply just cut them down the middle so that they will cook up evenly. So when I cook these, I'll actually cook the thicker pieces together and then the thinner pieces together so that everything comes out of the oven, out of the grease at the same time. So I'm just seasoning these up with salt, garlic, and pepper. And this is the same exact way that you guys saw my granny seasoning the catfish when she came and did the fish fry last year, almost a year ago in May. So if you have not seen that, then definitely go back and watch that one. It's definitely one of my most watched videos here on the channel. The Cooking with Granny series altogether is a huge hit. But I'm just taking my time, and I am seasoning this catfish with salt. I'm not letting a lot of salt come out of the canister at one time. It's really just like a dusting. If you are not comfortable sprinkling the salt right out of the Morton's, canister, then definitely you can pour it into something smaller and then make it manageable for the kind of control that you need. So now I'm just going over this with some garlic powder, and Granny likes to do heavy on the garlic powder. I I kind of like it heavy too because I like it. You know, I like to taste the garlic. It does really give the fish a very good taste when it is fried up. So simply just going in and doing this. Unfortunately, you can't see this or the salt on the white fish, but you can definitely see the pepper. And so we're just gonna go in and drizzle this here or sprinkle the pepper here. And now I'm simply just gonna go in and do the exact same thing on the other side. So here is when time management skills are crucial, when you want everything to come together at one single time. So I have my rice on. It's gonna take 20 to 25 minutes to cook. My ribeye has another 12 minutes, and I have my skillet heating right now for my oil for the catfish. As soon as that comes up to temperature, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my catfish, and that should be done just enough time for me to use that eye in order to finish off my ribeye steaks. The grease is hot, so we're gonna drop this catfish right down into this hot grease. And guys, always remember to drop your fish away from your body, or whatever you're frying goes away from the body. So you wouldn't ever want to drop it coming this way, like starting right here and then dropping it that way, because if it splatters, that means it's splattering on you. And we do want to make sure we're practicing safety first in the kitchen. So we're gonna let those fry up until they're golden on one side, and I'll flip those. And I only have 2 batches, and I only have 4 minutes left on my timer before I have to take the ribeyes out. So I'll show you guys what that looks like next. And here's a look of what the ribeyes look like fresh out of the oven. You can see they look like they're not cooked. So my skillet is piping hot. My vent hood is likely going to come on, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna turn it on. But we're just gonna go ahead and lay these right down in here. And they rested for probably about 10 minutes. So when I picked them up, they weren't hot at all. They were just warm, kind of lukewarm. So I'm gonna cook it for 2 minutes on this side, flip it, cook it again for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to just baste it with some butter for maybe about 5 minutes. And I'm hoping by that time they'll be medium well. I just flipped the steak and they look so yummy. Oh my goodness. Oh, the only thing is, and I don't know how I'm supposed to fix this, if you can see this, where am I? This section right here is not on the skillet, so it's not cooking. So I've got to figure out some type of way to push that down so that we can get it all cooked evenly, so that top part isn't like still bleeding when it's time to eat it. This is the last batch of the catfish. Look at that golden color, guys. This catfish is delicious. I stole a little piece off of the first batch. The seasoning is perfect. The color is perfect. And I'm having, and I have a feeling that everybody's going to enjoy this dinner tonight. It's eating time now, guys. Let me see. So this is going to be cut in half. It's nice and tender, not tough. And it is well done. Medium well for the most part. This is the way we like it, and I can't wait to see what it tastes like. I am going to cut off this little piece right here and see what it tastes like. Let's see. I think I'm a fan of the reverse sear. It's got like this really, really crispy outside, and it's nice and juicy and tender on the inside. It is really, really good. I think that's a technique that I'm going to have to, excuse me, I'm talking with my mouth open, but That's a technique that I'm gonna have to stay with. All right, guys, so my dinner is done. The catfish is done. The ribeye is done. The family is loving it. And I am about to finish off my catfish Southern style on a piece of white bread and some Louisiana hot sauce. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also hit the bell so that you will be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and follow me over on my Instagram. You can find me there at Shay's Country Kitchen. Until the next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.